Hey guys, it's me, Dominique. I wanted to come and record some videos today because I've been doing some around the house stuff. And hubby just agreed to watch the kids with me while I tried to record a video or two. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get them in. This first video I wanted to record is basically my whole reason for my hiatus, which I did an update video, but I was gonna go more into detail with this video. So this will be a pregnancy / wedding / birth story video. And if it's too long, because I tried to record this already, not today, but I tried to record this video, and it was like over 20 minutes, and I did not want to like upload a video that was over 20 minutes. And then I have a new Windows Movie Maker program where I don't really know how to cut the videos, but if it's too long, I'm not going to upload an over 20-minute video. I'm just going to try to cut it as best as possible and try to just separate it. So you might see one video that's a birth story and pregnancy and / wedding, yada yada yada. Okay, basically, the last time I recorded a video prior to my 2 I recently uploaded, which was the hiatus update and ride with me a trip to the gyno, which I will do another video regarding birth control. I guess that'll be like a part 2, more in depth of my choice in birth control and why and such like that. Like I said, in the video prior to those 2 I recently uploaded, which was the bronze goddess, the response to bronze goddess video, I was like, talking about how, I wasn't feeling good. I was a little under the weather. Now, in that video, I kind of knew I was pregnant, but I wasn't really sure, because as you guys know, I was also on a weight loss journey, and I was working out twice a day. And I wasn't really taking any vitamins or anything, so I figured, like, at first, I was like, okay, I'm like, my energy is really low, and I'm like, not feeling good. Like, every time I eat something, I'm feeling nauseous. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm shocking my body, and my body's not used to it. So maybe I just need to, beef up on more supplements, because whatever I'm eating, I'm not getting enough nutrients or whatever. So, but in that video, like, I wasn't feeling good. My energy was really low, and I was like, in my mind, and when I was talking to my 2 best friends, I was like, I think I might be pregnant. And then, I was telling them my symptoms or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you may be, or you might not be, but it'll be funny if you are pregnant, yada, yada, yada. So, I think it was like a week or 2 before Thanksgiving, I decided to make an appointment with my OBGYN. And I was like, okay, it's no use to me taking a home pregnancy test to find out if I'm pregnant. I might as well just go straight to the doctor, because if I am pregnant, I can just get the ball rolling on and already be at the doctor, yada, yada, yada. Instead of taking a home pregnancy test and going to the doctor, then I just said I'll just go straight to the doctor. That way I get, urine, blood, everything all in one walk, and I just get the process started if I am pregnant. So I went to the doctor's office, and I went into the I was in the waiting room after I took the urine test, because my OBGYN, who also delivered my son as well, at the office, you take a urine test, and then after the urine test, you like, you go back in the waiting room and you wait, and then everything else proceeds after that. Like, you wait until you can get a room and yada yada yada. So I took the urine test, and I was sitting there waiting, and I was like, oh, I doubt I'm pregnant. I'm just tripping. Like, I'm overreacting. There's no way I can be pregnant, or whatever. Like, but I do feel pregnant. I'm not saying there's no completely way I can't be pregnant, but I do feel it. So, I was waiting for the lady to give me the results. So she called my name. She was like, Dominique, whatever. She was like, do you need a proof of pregnancy or anything? And I'm looking at her. I was like, so I'm pregnant. And she looked at me and she started laughing. She was like, oh, so you didn't know? I was like, no. She was like, and she started laughing, and she was like, oh, well, you're pregnant, congratulations. I said, okay, thank you. And I was like, wow, it's crazy. Like, I'm really pregnant, for real. So the first person I called my husband. Told my husband, he was like, oh, I already knew. Mind you, a couple of days before that, I was like, do you think I'm pregnant? And he was like, nah, you just tripping. And then when I actually told him I'm pregnant, oh, I already knew. So I was like, okay. I was like, you didn't know I was pregnant because I just asked you a couple of days later, a couple of days ago, do you think I'm pregnant? He was like, nah, I'm tripping. He was like, yeah, I thought you was pregnant, but I didn't want to tell you I thought you was pregnant because I know how you get to worrying and you get to like, oh my God, whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I called my first best friend, my son's godmother. Told her, she was like, well, congratulations. She was like, oh my God, I hope you have a girl so you can have your girl and your boy. And then my other best friend, which is my now daughter's godmother, she was like, oh my gosh, I hope you have a girl because that's the only way that's gonna be my god baby. I was like, what? I was like, it's gonna be a god baby regardless. I think because you two are the only two I would trust to raise my children if something would happen to me and my husband. She's like, yeah, whatever, but I hope it's a girl. I was like, okay. So I only told my husband and my two best friends. I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell any other family members because I just didn't want to tell them because I didn't know how people were going to react. Now, let's get off the pregnancy subject for a minute. Prior to me finding out I was pregnant, my now husband, and I decided that we were going to make it official and go down to the courthouse and sign the papers and get married. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably thought I was married already because of the way I speak regarding me and my husband and our relationship. Because I always refer to him as hubby. We've been together 8 years, been living together, I think like 4 or 5 of those years. I'm not exactly sure on the numbers. And you know, we just always act like a married couple. We lived like one, we did things like a married couple, so I never addressed us as boyfriend or girlfriend or even fiancés. It was just straight husband and wife for us, even though we never went down to the courthouse and we never had a ceremony. So before the pregnancy, we had actually decided, okay, 40 years up, we're going to go down to the courthouse and sign the papers and make it official, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. We'll get around to it. So we decided, after I found out I was pregnant, we was like, okay, well, we got to do this sooner than later because I want it to be on paper before the baby comes. I was like, okay, fine. So we said we're going to go down to the courthouse, sign the papers or whatever, and then we're going to have like a little dinner type thing at a restaurant with like family members and close family friends. And we're going to do that, and that was going to be our wedding. So I called up a couple of family members, and I was like, okay, well, they already knew because he had already told my mom and my grandma that, you know, this is what we're going to do. And so they was like, oh, you know, guys, do it whenever you can. I was like, of course. So we had decided that's what we're going to do, go down to the courthouse. So after I told my mom and my grandma that's what I was going to do, my grandma was the first one to start with me, like, no, that's not what you're going to do. I was 25. You're 25. You're my only granddaughter that's going to get married. We're at this point, and we haven't had a wedding in a long time. So you're going to have a wedding. Call up your pastor. Do what you got to do. But we're going to do something. I'm like, okay. Whatever you say, Grandma. I'm like, okay, we can't afford to have a wedding. Like, which goes back to the whole thing why I didn't want to tell my family. Because, you know, we're not in the best financial situation where people felt like, you know, we should have been bringing another child. But it happens. And I really feel like it happened for a reason because of the simple fact that the age difference between my son and my daughter, the age difference between me and my son, my mom and me, like I don't really, I guess, believe in numbers and what's that thing where, you know, people use the numbers to like predestine their lives or whatever. I don't really believe in that, but I believe that the sequence that everything happened where it happened the way it was supposed to happen. So where was I? Oh yeah. So I was like, okay, I don't know how we're going to do this. We don't have any money. We can't afford to have a wedding. We can't afford no venue. We can't afford nothing. We can't afford to have no wedding. Even if it's $5,000, $3,000, we can't afford that because we can use that on other stuff. So, like I said, we decided that's what we're going to do around Thanksgiving. Mind you, my wedding was December 18th. In 3 weeks time, I had a wedding. My wedding was planned. It was, everything was done in 3 weeks. Thanks to family members and friends. I mean, but mostly family members. Thanks to mostly family members. And, you know, I had a wedding planner. I had everything. The only thing I had to pay for, even my aunt paid for my dress. The only thing I had to pay for, I found my dress within our first visit out, because I'm not a picky person. I don't know if you guys have noticed that on my channel or noticed that from me, but I'm not really a picky person per se. But it doesn't take a lot to make me happy. I first went out, the first store we hit, boom, I found my dress, and it was like almost perfect. I'll put a link for my my wedding album in the description box so you guys can see. It went with the whole color scheme and everything. It was like, my wedding dress was almost perfect for me. So, 3 weeks time I had a wedding. And mind you, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, like I said, I was feeling nauseous prior to the pregnancy. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, morning sickness came. And it wasn't morning sickness, it was all day sickness. I was throwing up 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Every time I ate, I was throwing up. I threw up until I went into labor. I threw up during labor, and I threw up after labor. That's like how bad my pregnancy was. And then on top of having sickness all through the pregnancy, I had like this bad spitting habit where I couldn't swallow my own spit, because every time I would swallow my spit, I would feel like I'm swallowing like mucus. Like I always felt like I had a lot of built up mucus, so I didn't really swallow too much. I was always doing a lot of spitting. If you guys notice, like if you've been around certain pregnant people, some pregnant people like spit into bottles and stuff. That was me. So I had the throwing up, the spitting, and then I also had a thyroid issue like around when I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant, where I had to also see a specialist on top of seeing my normal doctor. So the pregnancy was really hard on me. And all through the wedding planning, I was sick. Like I barely had the energy to even get up and take a shower some days. Get up and brush my teeth. Like that's how bad it was. It was to the point I felt so bad because my son missed so many days from school because I was sick. And then he was getting school late because I was sick. I was barely able to help him with his homework because I was sick. And then my husband was working 10-hour days, and he would come home and cook and do his homework with him, and I just felt like I was neglecting my family. So all that happened. I had my wedding. The only day I wasn't sick was my wedding day. I don't know if my baby, because of the excitement of the day or because my daughter knew it was an important day, I did not throw up at all that day. Like I didn't even feel nauseous. I think the nausea was trying to keep on with me like once, right after we said I do's and was sending receptions. But even then I ain't feel sick. So on